Hey, I'm Steve Lehto, and today we're going to take the canoe across to the Turnip Rock. Turnip Rock is an unusual geological formation at the tip of the thumb of Michigan. If you look at the state of Michigan, the Lower Peninsula is shaped like a mitten, and they often refer to the thing on the right as the thumb. Top of the thumb is Huron County, where the seat is Bad Axe, Michigan, a town I lived in for a couple years a long, long time ago. And I launched the canoe today from Port Austin State Harbor, where it's about a 2.5-mile trip over by water to get yourself to Turnip Rock. And Turnip Rock is right outside of Pointe Aux Barques, which is a little community. It's very, very cool of all these beautiful old cottages. But the problem is, of course, that Turnip Rock is private property, as is the land surrounding it. Now, it's an island, so you can get there and go around it in the water all you want. And that's what we're going to do today in the canoe. Now, I put into the water right around noonish, I believe. And the water was pretty clear, although it's a little bit overcast right now. And you'll notice that there's some pretty large rocks passing beneath the canoe. When I had my canoe recently in Lake Superior, the water conditions weren't this good, and it kind of freaked me out cruising along and not being able to see beneath me. And now I can see beneath me, and I see, hey, there's big rocks down there. But I don't think I'm in danger of hitting any, so we're just cruising along here, being pushed by a 5-horsepower motor. You'll notice there's a thing sticking out there off that cliff. Some people call that the thumbnail of Michigan, because that's the very tip of the thumb. It looks almost like a diving board of some sort, or perhaps the nose of an old Spanish galleon. But it's actually just a rocky formation sticking out just west of Turnip Rock. So as we come around this point here, there's a bay on the other side of it, which is where there's a nice beach for Pointe Aux Barques, and a lot of cottages over there. And many of them are very, very old and scenic. Today, some friends of mine let me stop and beached my canoe in front of the cottage they were in. And then I figured what I'll do here is, as I approached the rock from the north on my way in, I wasn't too crazy about the lighting. So I figured I'd come back out a little bit later and maybe see if the sun shifted around a little bit. You'll notice there's people kayaking near Turnip Rock, and a lot of people will either kayak in from the beach at Pointe Aux Barques, or they'll kayak all the way over from Port Austin. In fact, there's places in Port Austin that rent kayaks specifically, so you can kayak over to Turnip Rock and back. And it's not that far, like I said. I measured it with my handy-dandy GPS, and I got 2.45 miles over on the way there, and about a half a mile from the beach. So here we are. This is a little bit later in the afternoon. The sun is out. Look at those crystal clear blue waters of Lake Huron, and you can see some nice houses there of Pointe Aux Barques. And then at the very, very tip of the point there is the Turnip Rock. And it is just an unusual geological formation. It's one of those things you look at it and things like it, it belongs in a Dr. Seuss book or something. It's the kind of thing you look at and you go, can I climb that? And no, you can't. Don't climb it. But people do go over and check it out. They've actually put a support thing around the base to sturdy it up. I guess, erosion might eventually cause it to tip over. So they've actually put like a cement collar around the base to try to help it weather the storms a little bit and weather the winters. And there you can see the thumbnail sticking off in the background. But as I came back out now, and I wasn't the first person to have this idea apparently today, you'll notice there's kayaks all around the rock. And the water's rougher now. And that kind of bummed me out because I'd like to have gotten a little closer to the rock, but now I'm in a dilemma because I don't want to shut my motor off in rough water, even though I do have the pontoons on and outriggers on, and I don't want to go too close to people who are swimming in the water with a motorized boat for obvious reasons. So you can see there's a whole bunch of kayakers there in the little channel between Turnip Rock and the mainland. And there's also people swimming in the water. I don't see them here, but I did see them on the second pass. So came out here, there's Turnip Rock, there's the thumbnail, and there's a little bay here to the west of the thumbnail. I'll pull a quick turnaround, but yeah, the water's a little bit choppier than it was on the way out this morning. And that's a problem, of course, with the Great Lakes, is that as you go out, you often discover that the weather conditions and the water conditions can change without warning or notice. No one tells you these things. You got to figure them out on your own. So I am at this point on Lake Huron in a 17-foot aluminum canoe, 5-horsepower motor. My friend Lauren is holding down the front end of the canoe. The canoe is quite long, but with the motor behind me and me at the back. you need to have somebody up front counterbalancing, otherwise the canoe does not ride very well. So I came back here, second pass. I was thinking about going in closer, and then I noticed there's people in the water. And in fact, I think I see two people, if you look closely, who are swimming there. And I thought, well, I don't want to wind my canoe through there because I may have to dodge around some kayaks, and I obviously don't want to run my motor near anybody who's in the water. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we'll wave back. But that's Turnip Rock, and it's one of the most unusual geological formations in the Midwest, and certainly in Michigan. So if you ever have the opportunity to come out here, maybe kayak, maybe canoe, or you get permission to cross that property, you know somebody at Pointe Aux Barques, take them up on it, because Turnip Rock is certainly worth checking it out. I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.